what you need, yeah. Man, I got it, wow.
Everybody, welcome to another edition of Box Seats. This is the show we talk about sports with comedians. Let's get ready to bring them in. But boy, do we have a lot to talk about today. Mo's in the building. Mo, what's happening, bro? How you doing, sir?
What's going on? No Howie today?
Speaking of which, there you go right there. Howie Bell in the building. How you doing, sir?
What up, good brothers? What's happening?
Congratulations on your Image Award announcement.
Word, congratulations. That's some big shit.
Yeah,
Thank you, brothers. Thank you. Appreciate it.
My man Jason Hayes in the building too. Jay, how you doing, sir?
What up, fellas? Movie star!
What up, though? What up? What
Yes,
up
sir.
with it?
Man, we got a lot to talk about today, man. So, you know what I want to do, man? I'm going to jump right into it instead of doing one story first. They're coming into it, man. I'm going to jump into it first and get this out the way because it's such big news. I know all y'all heard about it. We're going to talk about the game last night. But first, Howie Bell's up first with his 3 Image Award, NAACP Image Awards announcements. Howie Bell in the building, y'all. Howie Bell, Mike Tomlin stepped down. How are you feeling about Mike Tomlin stepped down? And what are your thoughts about this, Howie Bell?
Oh, man, I know we're going to get into the game itself a little later, but Jesus Christ, Aaron Rodgers, good for you. Yeah, Jesus Christ. I predicted that shit would happen like that. But
Oh, my God.
Mike Tomlin, man, had a great run with the Steelers. I'm going to give it up for Mike Tomlin for being black. You know, just really good. Always made. I think did he make the playoffs every year that he was a coach?
Every year. Yeah.
He never had a losing season.
Never had a losing season. Always made the playoffs. That's pretty damn good. So, with that being said, him stepping down, I think it was about time that they parted ways. The Steelers, I've been looking at all the reports too. That only 4 coaches in like 70 years, something ridiculous, something like that, 60 years. So they got a tradition of keeping coaches for a long time. Be interested in who they got coming up next, and it'll be interesting to where he goes.
I 100% agree with that because now we have a serious coaching carousel that we're going to discuss in a second. We're going to discuss that in a second. Mo, talk to me, man. Mike Tomlin stepped down. What's your take on that, Mo?
Man, listen, if you want to sit back and say, name some shit you didn't see coming, that's the shit I didn't see coming. Yeah. Stepping down, fired, yeah. Stepping down, no. But he had a great run, man. I mean, dude was a monster, but with coaching, he had us no good teams up until this year. And like how he said, good for Aaron Rodgers because everywhere he go, it's just failure and defeat.
Yeah, well, let's just say this too. Ever since Mike Tomlin had Ben Roethlisberger, he hasn't had a good quarterback ever since Ben Roethlisberger. He hasn't had one. So we got to put that out there. You know what I mean? He just hasn't had one. Now, if he decides to do it, he's going to probably go to a team, Jay, that's going to have a good quarterback, or he has a hand in picking a good QB. You know what I mean? Jay, what's your thought?
I mean, wherever he goes, should he decide to keep coaching? Like, we don't know if he want to keep coaching. I think he does. He's going to go someplace where that quarterback is in place. Mm-hmm. I mean, if he doesn't, then I don't know what the hell wrong with him. But the thing about Tomlin, put it in perspective, bro. He was there for 19 seasons.
Yeah.
Almost 2 decades. And he never had a losing season.
That's a lot.
He never had a losing season. Now, he made the playoffs every year, but he never had a losing season.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, think about, there is no coach in the history of the NFL that can say that.
That's right.
And yet, every year, this man's job was seemingly being called into question. You know what I mean? So, to me, it's like the equivalent of like LeBron James, getting pounded for making to the NBA Finals, taking trash dudes that nobody can name. Right? So, because he lost the finals, that's a knock against LeBron because he didn't win. But do you understand that anybody less than LeBron, those dudes don't even make the playoffs, let alone make the finals? So Pittsburgh is about to find out now that what this dude did was rare. And so I would love to see the next coach miss the playoffs immediately to let them know what they just lost.
Because that's exactly what will happen. D. Jones is in the building, y'all. D. Jones, how you doing, sir?
Why are we talking about LeBron when it's a Mike Tomlin conversation?
He just using that as an example.
Because greatness is greatness, baby. 19 years, 23 years of shut the fuck up.
Jones, what's your take on this, bro? Mike Tomlin stepping down because he shocked the NFL world by stepping down, made the announcement 2 hours ago. What's your take?
I think what Jay was saying is probably right. They're going to find out what it's like not to have a good coach. But who knows, because Pittsburgh know how to hire coaches. So maybe they will hire the right coach, but they're definitely about to go through a rebuilding phase, because had he been there or not, they're not going to the playoffs next year because they don't have a quarterback. So good for him. He can go out never having a losing season, and that's rare. So kudos. He had a great career so far. And the second half, we're going to see if it's going to be on TV or if it's going to be coaching again. But definitely, he's going to be one of the most sought-off coaches out there.
Yeah.
Well, that brings me to the question that I want to ask Howie, too. Howie, do you think he goes to the Baltimore Ravens? Because the Baltimore Ravens is the one team out of 9 that has a quarterback in place. They have that in place, like right now. The other 8 don't. That what Baltimore Ravens does. People are speculating that he might go into broadcasting. I'm thinking this is a very rare opportunity, Howie, where you have a former MVP sitting on a team without a head coach. That's so rare. You know what I mean? That's so rare. I can't even think of the last time that happened in the NFL. So Howie Bell, do you think Mike Tomlin goes to literally the Baltimore Ravens, or do you think he sits out of here? What's your take?
You know what? If he goes to Baltimore, let's just make Baltimore blacker than black. Yeah, blackest city ever. Black quarterback, black head coach, black blocks. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The Wire. Let's just make Baltimore just the blackest it can be. But I think that would be a good combination. But I can see him going to Miami, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? I see that. But, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I can see him doing that with Baltimore, but I don't know. I can see him maybe sitting out a year in broadcasting, too. So, he can make a ton of money just sitting back and marinating and seeing what the best offer is after another season. So we never know.
That's true. That's very true. So let me ask Mo. Mo, do you see him sitting down with an opportunity to jump in and get a team that has a running back? Most importantly, they got a former MVP sitting there, and all they got to do is fix a couple of things. Mo, you see him sitting there and not jumping on that? What's your take?
Well, when Howard was talking about making Baltimore black, it took me back to CB4 with Dead Mike. Remember, he went solo. He says, "I'm black, and I'm black, and I'm black, and I'm black, and I'm black." That's how they gonna be black.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching a report. There may be some issues with him going into coaching for another team because he stepped down. He wasn't fired, so he kind of. I think they say he was still under contract. I don't know the exact, and I'm sure JD is probably looking at it now, and he'll let us know when his turn is up. But I think there's something out there that he may not be able to do it for a year. I'm not saying I know it all, but I was hearing it before the show. Yeah, I just didn't have time to research it.
I heard the same thing too. That obviously the sides will have to come around down to us and walk away and everything else. But I'm just speculating. Let's just
if he got the chance to go coach Lamar. Yeah. And take that team somewhere, he gonna jump on it.
That's what I would think. D Jones, what you think? Because let's be honest, MVP QBs on teams don't lose their head coaches too often.
Frank, I think that's a perfect fit. Like, I would love to see him go over there and then whoop Pittsburgh. That would be amazing. I don't think he had an agent, Ben Roethlisberger. That's it. He's never had a quarterback like Lamar, and I think that'd be a perfect fit. I want to see that happen. Actually, I didn't even think about that. That's perfect.
That's what I mean. In a perfect world, honestly, like I said, very, very rare does a QB who has a former MVP lose their head coach. Jay, very, very rare does that happen. You know what I mean? And being that it's happened, not only do you have a former MVP, you've got one of the best running backs in the league sitting there, both of them sitting there waiting for a good head coach. And Mike Tomlin is not just a good head coach, he's a great head coach.
He's great.
I don't understand how it doesn't happen, but Jay, what's your take? I mean, how you see it?
I mean, the way I'm looking at this is this, bro. So I looked up just a quick search. I asked, does Mike Tomlin have a non-compete contract? A non-compete contract. It says no, because the NFL doesn't explicitly do non-competes, because it's automatic that the team that you are employed under or were employed under, you got to get their permission to do anything. So any place that he goes, or like that he wants to go, Pittsburgh is gonna have to sign off on it.
And it ain't gonna be Baltimore.
Now, if his contract has expired, then ain't nothing to talk about. Now that I didn't look up. Now, having said that, he makes all the sense in the world in Baltimore. He knows the division. He has a quarterback that that he ain't had in about 10 years. And he has a running back, which is what he used to. And Baltimore's defense needs somebody like a Mike Tomlin to build it the way that it needs to be built. Because their defense was their problem this year. I mean, much more than the offense was. But if it's me and I'm Mike Tomlin, I'm probably just going to go to Atlanta, because that's a friendly owner who doesn't meddle. They got arguably the best running back in the NFL. You can argue that Penix is their quarterback of the future. He just got hurt this year. They got wide receivers. They got the tight end. They got a young, hungry, scrappy defense. I think Mike Tomlin should go to to Atlanta, leaving all of the racist whites in Western Pennsylvania alone. They will throw a parade for him if he signs on to be the Falcons head coach.
I'm gonna say this for the record. If I am Mike Tomlin, not only do I go to Baltimore, and I bring Mike McDaniel with me, that the head coach from Miami Dolphins with me. I'd do that like the very next day. I'd say
scheme it up. Yeah.
That's what I would do. Like I wouldn't even.
But Atlanta's a great fit for that too. Both
Absolutely.
I'm not saying it's not.
Bijan is great.
I'm not saying it's not. But when you look at Mike Penix versus having Lamar Jackson, it don't even equate to me. It ain't even the same. You know what I mean? You got Lamar Jackson, former MVP, 2-time MVP, versus Mike Penix, who's trying to become just a regular great starter. You know what I mean? And you got Mike McDaniel sitting out there, who was a hell of an offensive coach for the Miami Dolphins while he was a head coach. And then you might be able to bring Stefanski or somebody over there to be a defensive coordinator, and you got the perfect tsunami brewing over there in the Baltimore Ravens. That's just how I would do it, because there's so many head coaches out there in this NFL coaching carousel. Which brings me up to my next thing. Still, Howie Bell, before I get to the game last night.
So Frank, real quick. The pros and cons of Atlanta. It could be a pro, it could be a con. They don't have a GM right now, because they fired the GM and they fired the head coach. So that might be a turnoff, and
we're gonna get
that might be a way for him to bring in his own GM.
We're gonna get to that, because we're gonna do the coaching carousel right now. We're gonna get to that. So you jumped the gun just a bit. So let me get these questions out. Hear me out. Howie Bell. Jay touched on a little bit with the NFL coaching carousel that I wanted to bring up. The NFL coaching carousel consists of, you have these teams right now that have no head coaches. Okay, right. Howie? They have no head coaches. You've got the Baltimore Ravens, obviously. You got the Pittsburgh Steelers, obviously. You got the Atlanta Falcons, which Jay just touched on, right? You got the New York Giants, the Las Vegas Raiders, Tennessee Titans, Cleveland Browns, Arizona Cardinals, Miami Dolphins. Where do you see who going where? Just off the top of your head. Ain't no, nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. Off the top of your head, where you see some of these guys landing at that makes the most sense to you? Because Jay just said to him to make the most sense is it would be the Atlanta Falcons with obviously Mike Tomlin. You know what I mean? That which makes sense to him too. Yeah. So some of these other guys can land some of these other places and make a lot of sense too. Like the Giants got a spot right now that could be attractive to some people. I don't want to put words in your mouth. What do you think?
Harbaugh's name pops in my head with the Raiders for some reason. I could see him going there and kind of running things. You know what I'm saying? They ain't got nowhere else to go but up. You know what I'm saying? So he could probably go in there and dictate, and do all those things that you're talking about. Tomlin could do. You know what I'm saying? If he went to Atlanta, Jay. But I think it could be the same thing in a Harbaugh situation out there, in Vegas. So that's the first person that pops in my head, Las Vegas Raiders. You know, Tomlin, man, I'm gonna tell you, I like what you're saying about the Falcons, but I see him making. I like Miami for him for some reason. But even speaking of Miami, you know, man, I don't see him coming. He's interviewing with Detroit, but I can see him getting a head coaching job somewhere. What's his name? McDaniel. I can see McDaniel.
He could.
You know,
Yeah,
yeah, I could see him going to maybe Cleveland.
yeah,
He could.
Yeah, he could. Yeah, yeah.
Maybe Cleveland for him. You know, yeah, I don't see him really saying, oh yeah, running for an offensive coordinator job. You know what I'm saying? I see him maybe, you know, still trying to make a move, you know, in the head coaching style. So that's off the top. Those are three people that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. Man, everything you said makes perfect sense. Everything you said, Mo. Like I said, we got the coaching carousel out there, Mo. If you had to, you know, stick some names to some places and everything else with this coaching carousel, Jay said what he said. Howie said what he said. What you say, Mo? With some of these teams out there, like I said, you got the Ravens, Steelers, Falcons, Giants, Raiders, Titans, Browns, Cardinals, Dolphins.
17 minutes and 17 seconds into the show. Remember this. At least two unknown coordinators, a defensive coordinator or offensive coordinator, will be head coaches this year that we don't even see. Two young boys, because we know that the NFL is a copycat league. One team has success, and God forbid if the Chicago Bears advance this week, they're really going to hire some young kids. They starting to let these older coaches go. But Tomlin, Harbaugh, I mean, God, you know, I just want Tomlin to land in New York City with the Giants. We ain't got the best quarterback, but we got a quarterback. We ain't got the best wide receiving core, but we got a great wide receiver. We got a pretty decent running back, and we got, I think, the best deep pass rushing. I like to see him in New York.
Well, here's the thing about what you said. What you said makes sense with getting some of these young boys. But if you're the owner of an NFL team, right, and you got $1 billion franchise, and you got Jim Harbaugh and Mike Tomlin sitting out there, both very experienced coaches, both won Super Bowls, both had some great runs. Do you take a chance on a young coordinator if you can try to move one of those two guys, or you know, go for the youngster? You still want to stick, like, because if I'm an owner, I ain't gonna lie. If I'm an owner and Harbaugh's out there and Tomlin's out there, I'm at least take a shot. You know what I mean? Because your franchise costs too much money to lose. You know what I mean?
You know what, Frank? If I didn't know no better, I would think you smoke weed, because your mind just be going so deep in scenarios. You sound like somebody that smoke weed and ain't got shit to do but think about sports.
And you know that
you sound like when I go into the kitchen after smoking weed, how food should be cooked. Right. I know some owners, they may not, but it's a copycat league. Whatever I mean, you had the greatest NFL coach sitting out there with no job last year, and Belichick, and you can say he is the greatest of all time. Am I right?
But he was in his 70s. That's the difference. He was in his 70s.
I know that, but I'm just saying though. But I'm just saying that to say that what your past has done doesn't really mean as much no more.
All right, okay, I'll leave you with that, and I could agree and disagree. I could put, things on both. I understand what you're saying. D. Jones, we got this NFL coaching carousel. We got all these teams out here. You got Harbaugh out there. You got Tomlin out there. You got 9 teams looking for a head coach. You got one of them with an MVP QB. Which one of these teams you see landing some of these coaches, and where you see them going?
Remember what I'm about to say. 20 minutes into the show. 3 minutes ago, I forgot what Mo was talking about. Okay.
You are so lousy. You are so. When I hit the lotto, don't wonder why you don't get a call.
I'm sorry, Mo. This is a crazy question. You gotta think about which one is the best team and the worst team. The best team might be the Baltimore Ravens right now. So I'm saying what you said, Frank. I think Tomlin should go there. The worst team might be Pittsburgh. They don't have a quarterback, or Cleveland, because it's Cleveland. But I like McDaniel maybe with the Titans. And the young quarterback, maybe he can do something. #1 pick, brand new everything in with the Titans. So I'm gonna go McDaniel with the Titans.
Okay, all right. So Jay, you get the final call. You already said a little bit about the Atlanta Falcons. You got any other teams out there that can land some of these other big names, and how you see some of these names falling in some of these teams?
Okay, so very quickly, I told my wife, because we were discussing this earlier today, that I would give her credit for this idea. She said that she thinks Mike Tomlin makes a lot of sense in Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't disagree, because they got a monster defense already.
Yeah,
They got a quarterback.
Yep.
They got 2 quarterbacks, because we need to see if Deshaun Watson got anything left.
Yep. Yeah.
Because what we know for sure is that Stefanski is no good with quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So, and also what we know is that Deshaun Watson was a killer top 5 quarterback when he was in Houston before he went to Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
So it may be interesting to see Watson to have Tomlin as his head coach, and then have Shador sit a little bit. Maybe decide if they want to keep Deshaun, after this last year of the contract, and let him go, and then elevate Shador or whatever, like take another look at him. So Cleveland might make the most sense in that division, to be honest. And their owner will spend money. He's proven that. Other than that, Harbaugh makes sense. I think Howard may have said it with the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
Because they need, because Davis, man, he don't really care, bro. I mean, he just want to get ugly haircuts and knock down showgirls out there in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So he needs a guy that's already organized, organizational. I think Harbaugh will go a long way for that. And honestly, I think the worst job is Miami.
Mm-hmm.
They have no quarterback. Their defense is in shambles. We don't know what's happening with Tyreek Hill. They got an owner who meddles all the time.
No coordinators.
To me, that's the worst job.
No coordinators. Don't forget that either. They ain't got
nothing, man. They ain't got nothing to work with down there.
No, Tyreek Hill's the only sunshine spot.
Yep.
Jay, we're gonna have to get the missus to be up on the show, bro. For real, she keep making predictions.
Yeah.
All right, Bell. Now it's time for us to talk about the Houston Texans' defeat of the Pittsburgh Steelers, which started this whole domino effect this morning, bro. It started everything. So now that Tomlin stepped down, now that Houston Texans has moved on to face New England Patriots, give me your thoughts on the Houston Texans' defeat of the Pittsburgh Steelers last night, because it had a ripple effect. It's just had a ripple effect. What's your take, Howie, bro?
I enjoyed every minute of it. It was one of the greatest games of the weekend. All the time I saw Aaron Rodgers on the ground after he got strip sacked, he looked so delusional. Man, his face was so puzzling. I wish I could just screenshot that shit, bro. I said to myself, yeah!
I know you loved it.
Loved every second of it. He used to kick Detroit's ass. So I'm like, hey, man, anytime I can see one of our nemesis get his ass kicked, I'm good. And I saw this happening. I said that Texans defense, man, listen, bro. I said it. Now, the Jaguars, they disappointed me. I thought that they were going to do – that was a good-ass game, though. We're going to get to that. But I'm going to tell you something, man. That defense for the Texans, oh, my God. They look unstoppable. You know what I'm saying? They look really goddamn good, bro. And I'm going to tell you something. I knew that they were good, but they just proved and showed the world how good they was, man. You know what I'm saying? And CJ Stroud, they got a quarterback. They are built for a Super Bowl right now. Mm-hmm. Honestly, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is getting very interesting. I can't wait for next week.
Okay, that's his take. Mo, give me your take on the Houston the Texans defeat of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and what's your takeaways from that? What was your takeaway?
Steelers was shook. The Steelers was shook. Aaron Rodgers was shook.
Man.
And my Mobb Deep said, ain't no such thing as halfway crooks. You shook. You know what I'm saying? They put a whooping on that ass. I mean, I didn't want to see Tomlin take a loss like that, but I wanted Houston to win. That pass rush. And I know a team that may have to, I think they're going to play Houston, I think on their left side is not that great.
Okay. All right. That's your take. That's your take. D. Jones, what's your take on the Houston Texans defeat of the Pittsburgh Steelers? And what was your takeaway from it, D. Jones?
Bravo. You beat up on an old man.
Correct.
You beat up on an old man. Okay. Now you about to get the smoke the Jaguars dodged. Okay. So come on to New England Sunday. Get this belt to ass. and then they done. Get them out of here. That's how I feel about it. It's inevitable. We Thanos when we're back, baby. Come on,
Oh,
no
Jesus.
Jay, give me your take on the Houston Texans.
Everything you think about, it's gonna fail.
What was your take on the Houston Texans defeat of the Pittsburgh Steelers? What was your take, Jay?
I wasn't surprised, man. I mean, I thought that Pittsburgh, would be able to come up with a game plan, be able to execute, to take advantage of the offensive line. But what they couldn't do was make up for the fact that they had geriatric offensive linemen on their side and a geriatric quarterback. Bro, Aaron Rodgers getting hit so much, bro. You can literally just see him cussing on the field. The only thing missing was like his teeth flying out. You know what I'm saying? Didn't he look old as hell out there last night?
They kicked his ass, man.
Oh, I was like, man, y'all should be ashamed of yourselves beating up the old folks like that, man. You know what I mean? But I don't know, man. I mean, the whole thing. Pittsburgh is really, really old across the board, and I think Mike stepped down because he was like, I'm sure Pittsburgh wanted him back, to be honest. But I just think that he sees that there's no end in sight. He tired of hearing all that. Should Mike Tomlin be fired every year, man? Just either take a year off and go make some easy ESPN or Fox News, Fox Sports money, or take a job someplace, man, where they really appreciate you.
I agree with that. All right, so that leaves me to two questions. I'm gonna ask each one of you all one question, and I'm gonna ask you all the next question. Then we're gonna keep the show rolling. Howie Bell, you up first. This is the question. Is the Houston Texans a Super Bowl contender? If you think whatever you think, tell me why.
Well, I just said it. So you already know my answer is yes. And I'm going to tell you why. Once again, I think that it's still true, even though the league was different. When Tomlin got in, we talked about that, and it was more defensive oriented. I still think defense wins championships. And I think if you can stop people and you keep stopping them, I think that just wears the offensive line down and wears those receivers down. And I just think they get tired and they start half running routes and stuff like that, man. And that is what wins championships, dog. And they got it. And their offense ain't too damn shabby. Okay. So I'd say, man, they look pretty damn primed and ready. Can they beat the Patriots? I don't know. The Patriots are brand new at this right now, too. You know what I'm saying? So this is all new territory for both of these teams right now. And so I don't know. I can't wait for next week.
Okay, that brings me to Mo. Mo, is the Houston Texans a Super Bowl contender?
Yeah, we said that before the even playoffs started. We were looking at that defense, but people were sleeping on Houston when people weren't even talking about them. Last night, they just solidified what people already knew, but they got a good task at hand coming up against the Patriots, but they pass rush, that defense is scary. Ooh. I mean, it is scary, and as much as I don't like the Patriots, I will say they're a decent team. And I think JD said this a few weeks ago. I think the one thing that's going to be their kryptonite is youth.
Okay, so let me ask D. Jones. D. Jones, is the Houston Texans a Super Bowl contender?
Where's White Chocolate at? He know this song. I think Vince McMahon come out to No Chance. That's what you got. Okay? They would have been if they was in the NFC, but they in the AFC. They're not going to make it. The only thing they got is better women. We got better quarterbacks, better coordinators, better coach, better pizza, Papa John's. No.
Okay, so Jay, let me ask you this last question. You get the last round of this question. Is the Houston Texans a Super Bowl contender?
Absolutely. Because we said this when the playoffs started. We was like, the AFC is wide open.
Yeah.
Like, we all were in agreement that anybody in the AFC, with the exception of the Chargers, they were fugazi to us.
Yeah.
Could win the Super Bowl. And that's just how it's shaping out right now. Now, yes, the Texans are kind of new, but they made the playoffs last year. So, I mean, they've been there before. But also, DeMeco Ryans was the DC for the 49ers when they made a Super Bowl. So, trust me, man, they ain't gonna be scared.
No.
They ain't gonna be, and listen, he gonna have a game plan to deal with Drake. Believe me when I tell you. So this ain't gonna be no layup, man. That defense is nasty. Nasty.
I said the same. Them boys is monsters. And D Jones, since you asked, guess what? He appeared. Bing.
He said
I
White
heard
Chocolate
that,
3
D.
times.
Jones. No chance in hell. No chance in hell with that strut down the ramp. That's it.
So White Chocolate, since you jumped in on the show, I'm gonna give you a question. I'm gonna give you a chance to answer the question. Is the Houston Texans a Super Bowl contender?
I would say yes. Howie said the same thing I've been saying for years, and I've been telling you, defense wins championships, and their defense is killer. And I have shout out for Mo, where he said that there's going to be a coordinator that's unknown. I think the Houston defensive coordinator, I don't know who he is. I'll look him up, but that's going to be the hot guy, I think.
D'Amico Ryans is their defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
They don't have an official defensive coordinator?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, whoever's
But
under
D'Amico
him might
calls
get
the
some.
plays.
Well, whoever's under him, kind of like Matt Patricia when Belichick was here. There's got to be
Yeah.
somebody that's his assistant that's helping him.
That's a terrible comparison.
Well, it's yeah, I know it's a terrible comparison, but you get the idea. They went cheap because they have what's his name, Nick, whatever the hell his name is in the front office there, running like the Patriots, where they don't pay the assistant coaches. But Houston's for real. Let me tell you, when I went to sleep, I dozed off. It was still 7-6. And I thought Pittsburgh might have had a chance, and I woke up and found out that they got 2 returns, and I was like, "Oof!"
Right?
The wheels fell off real quick last night.
Strip sacks, pick sixes, man. They did everything.
I missed all the fun. I was expecting that in the first half.
Yeah, the wheels fell off real fast.
Listen, I don't care what they do. Just leave my DC alone in Jacksonville, bro.
Yeah,
leave my guy alone.
He's on the block. He's on the block, though. He's on the block. Though. Howie Bell, that brings me up to my next question that I've been hearing him talk about all day. So I figured, let me ask the guys, see what they thought about. Should Aaron Rodgers retire? Howie Bell.
Aaron Rodgers. No, stay another year and get fucked up more. Aaron Rodgers. I don't give a damn about Aaron Rodgers, man. Dog,
oh my God.
Man, that's nigga. Man, listen, bro. I think he an ICE agent, bro. You know what I'm saying? He think he have a mask on. You know what I'm saying? During the day.
Hold on. The views and the points of these men.
I was saying, come back and get knocked out some more.
Hey, man, listen, man. Yeah, come back and get come on back, man.
You were going to not express the views of the consent about. All right, go ahead, Howie.
Hey, go sit down with Rivers, man, and ask him what he did. You know, to come back, man. Dummy. Nah, man. I mean, it's a time for him to retire. Sure, it is.
It's time.
You know what I'm saying? And if he doesn't think so, hey, good luck.
It's time.
It's definitely time. It's definitely time. All right, so that brings me to Mo. Mo, what's your thoughts?
When it comes to Aaron Rodgers, and if he should retire, y'all got me confused with somebody who gives a fuck. Fuck Aaron Rodgers. That's what he did to the Jets. Even though I'm not a big Jet fan, but he just talk all that trash. And everywhere he go, he just leaves a trail of smoke.
Man.
It's always about it. And I just hate the fact that every off season we got to figure out what's going on with Aaron. ESPN spends more time on the Dallas Cowboys, the New York Knicks, the Yankees and Dodgers, and Aaron Rodgers. Those are their top 5 stories. I bet you they are.
Yeah,
I get tired of hearing about what Aaron doing.
Yeah, and the sad part is wherever he goes, he leaves a wasteland with him. Because
he trail of smoke.
He left the Jets oh my God, he set the Jets back because they decided to lean with the older guys that are trying to get a new QB and develop them. P. Jones, what's your take on this, man? Should Aaron Rodgers retire?
I'm sorry to do this to my brother Howie. Aaron Rodgers is gonna go to the Minnesota Vikings. He's gonna piss off. He's gonna piss off the Packers, the Lions, and the Bears.
I hope he does.
That would be terrible.
I hope he does that. We can get our link
coach
back.
Is great with quarterbacks, and they need a quarterback. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Let me see where we at. Jay, talk to me. Jay, is it time for Aaron Rodgers to retire to you?
Man, I don't think anybody on earth that watched him play this year would say that Aaron Rodgers should come back for another season. I mean, not as a football player. I mean, if you want to go out there and be an assistant coach, you know, mix Gatorade or something like that, then yeah, come on back and do that. But in terms of being on the field and like competing and throwing that ball, bro, he ain't got it. He ain't got it no more, man.
We don't.
I think you're 100%. White Chocolate, I'm gonna let you jump in on this conversation. Is it time for Aaron Rodgers to retire?
Oh yeah, he's checked out. Where did he go during training camp? Egypt or some crap and put his
He went in like training camp. I forgot about that.
How can this is the second time too? Didn't he go somewhere else before that? Some retreat?
His darkness retreat.
Yeah.
Versus what Tom Brady did at his age. Tom Brady was working out in his 40s, trying to make the team better. Aaron Rodgers decides to make a trip to Egypt. Great point.
Tom Brady was working with the wide receivers and pass catches in the off season and whatnot up to training camp, and this guy's out on the beach somewhere over in Egypt riding a camel. It's like he's got no interest in football anymore. He's done. He should retire. I'm tired of him too.
I am absolutely sick of him. So that brings me to here we go. Let me see. Bring up Howie Bell. Howie Bell. That brings me to I asked the two questions. The next story we got to talk about Howie Bell. Kevin Patullo is no longer the Eagles' offensive coordinator after the Eagles' sharp decline. I don't know if you guys happen to hear some of the comments that Jalen Hurts was saying, and that they were asking about the Eagles' situation. Howie Bell, what's your take on the Eagles losing their OC?
Hey man, listen, that's two of them today. The Chargers just let go of their offensive coordinator.
We'll get to that.
Okay. So Patullo, man, he's out of there. I mean, look at their play calling though, bro. They had the worst looking plays, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they just look so boring. They look just so predictable. I mean, the Eagles, man, I mean, they didn't pull it out for them this time. You know what I'm saying? And usually they depend on their talent to win these games, and it just didn't. You know, teams are on to a lot of things, a lot of schemes, and a lot of shit now, man. You can't come with that same old package, man. You know what I'm saying? These kids, they playing Madden 2026, and you still in 2024. You behind. You know what I'm saying? You ain't even got the buttons right, bro. You ain't got you pressing this, and now you sliding. Oh, you got the buttons wrong, bro. You know what I'm saying? You're not there. And he's out of there and good. You know what I'm saying? Because he wasn't good. You know what I'm saying? He was not. And so, you know, there you go. So good for him. You know what I'm saying? Get out. You and Aaron Rodgers are gonna hang out together.
Mo, what's your take on this, Mo?
You know how I feel about Philadelphia. What they call it? The city of what? Brotherly love?
Yep.
I'm glad they lost their offensive coordinator. He was trash. I wish he would have stayed. I wish he would have stayed another season so that when the Giants get fixed, we could whoop their asses. I wish he'd been stayed right there. But you know what the sad thing about it is? He's going to have a job before we probably get off this show.
Probably. D. Jones, that brings me to you. What's your take of Kevin Patullo out as the Eagles offensive coordinator? What's your thoughts?
Well, you know what? And the Giants do need a head coach, and I think he'd be perfect for that job, running the Giants as their head coach.
Into the ground?
Yeah. Let's do that. Let's pay him the highest amount. But no, it's time for the Eagles. Got too much talent, man. Their head coach seems like a dummy, and he's very reliant on the OC because he ain't really doing much. So they're going to get another great OC. This will be the 8th offensive coordinator for Jalen Hurts in 8 years straight.
Correct.
So hopefully they get one that's good and can stay for a few seasons.
Yeah, that's one great point.
Or at least two.
Jay, what's your take?
Wait a minute. You mean to tell me that the OC who oversaw the worst looking offense ever got fired?
Mm-hmm.
Damn. I don't know how the hell we see it. I didn't see that coming, bro. You know what I mean? Listen, he was so bad I think his offense would have been too outdated back when they was wearing leather helmets. You know what I'm saying? Bro, the Eagles were terrible this year. And they have Saquon Barkley, who ran for 2,000 yards last season. They had A.J. Brown still. They still had the kid out of Alabama out there.
Devontae
And they
Smith.
couldn't. They just looked. And Jalen Hurts is a mobile quarterback.
Yeah.
So the fact that you can't figure out how to move the ball with all those weapons, man, it makes no sense to me. And honestly, the only thing he good for, matter of fact, I don't even trust him to mix the Gatorade, bro. I wouldn't.
Mix the Gatorade. That's a good one. I gotta use that one. Steve, what's your take?
Listen, whenever you lose, somebody has to be the fall guy or fall person or whatever it is. The coach obviously isn't going anywhere. So he's the guy, and you guys have all said it, and we've seen it all year. Their offense was awful. You can't have that much talent like that and be putting up 13 points a game. And Saquon Barkley goes from 120 yards, 130 yards a game to 40, 50, not getting the ball. I mean, just stupid. Waste of talent, and he deserved to get fired, in my opinion. That's just the way it is. And everybody knows this, but I heard it again today on the way home, listening to sports radio before you guys came on. Coaches are hired to get fired, and they know that going into it, so shouldn't be unexpected from them.
100%. Okay, Howie, you touched on it a little bit. You jumped the gun a little bit. The Chargers fired their offensive coordinator, Greg Roman, and their offensive line coach, Mike Devlin, and that was announced early this morning. And of course, we all saw what happened after they played the Patriots. So they're trying to clean house a little bit. And, this is Jen Harbaugh's first year. So they're trying to figure some situations out. Are you surprised that happened out there and for the Chargers, Howie Bell?
You know what? Nah, I'm not surprised. Their offense was stagnant too. You know what I'm saying? And hey, they fired two though, the coordinator and the lineman coach. That is funny. But they were like, yeah, we cleaning all of y'all out of here. Yep. But hey man, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, man. I just think that teams make decisions, man. They gotta live with them. And these GMs, they hire these people, man. You hire your coach. Hey, man, you got to put the full faith in it. Don't work, you lose. Sports is like gambling. You know what I'm saying? You win or lose. And it's all about the way you strategic strategy. Hey, look, it's sometimes it comes to superstitions and luck too. You know what I'm saying? So all kind of shit. Hey, look, the Eagles should have let them come on. Let the banner. Remember when they didn't want them to come out? Look at the banner come down. They should have did that. Maybe they gave them some good fucking luck. But I just don't know. You know what I'm saying? What difference it makes? You clean house and then you still got to rebuild. So it doesn't happen automatically. Very rarely do you bring in a new coach or somebody in a position like that and it's like boom, it works automatically. So it's just things like that, So, but for them to clean house like that, that means they was tired. They were dead tired of them dudes. You know what I'm saying?
The problem, Howie Bell, is you got teams like the Patriots, the Bears, the Jaguars. You could even say Houston, that they have fast turnarounds. You know what I mean? And these teams are really, really good. So now the NFL is known for not for long, and the owners expect turnaround because they see other people doing it. You know what I mean?
They try to get it fast, but it don't always work like that.
It sure don't. Look at the Lions. It don't always work like that. You can turn it around, but if you turn it around too fast, you could upset the apple cart too. You know what I mean? Because
But then like you said, there's a copycat league. Mo was saying earlier, people take people's coordinators all the time. They lose them. We lost 2 in one season. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, what are you gonna do? It's just a part of the game. You know what I'm saying? Part of the strategy.
And I'm praying that don't happen to me this time, Howie.
Yeah. Chances are it looks like that. Mo, what's your take on the Chargers firing their offensive coordinator Greg Roman?
Man, somebody had to go. After that beaten by the Patriots, somebody had to go. You know what I'm saying? Somebody got to go. Listen, they looking at each other saying, it ain't going to be me. How about he had to got to let some people go. He said, I'm going to do even one better. I'm going to give you 2. Remind me, what's that Dave Chappelle? What's the movie Dave Chappelle had? One of his early movies. Half-Baked. No, Half-Baked. You're fired. Fuck you. You're cool. Fuck you, y'all are out. They out. But they do it all the time. And they always land with another job. It ain't like these guys get fired and then they like, we get fired from a job. We got to look and fight for a job. These dudes wind up with jobs in the next hour or two.
Yeah, somewhere else, somewhere. They're going to land somewhere, whether it's NFL or college. They will land somewhere. D. Jones, give me your take on the Chargers firing offensive coordinator Greg Roman. Was it too soon? Should they have waited? You know, because Harbaugh just got there too. Everybody trying to figure out their job. You know what I mean? And there were a lot of injuries. What's your take, D. Jones?
Well, that line looked like tissue paper. And he didn't really have a lot of time to get any plays off.
Mm-hmm.
And again, like I said, the Jags died smoke because it happened to them. Had they had to play the Patriots, then all their coordinators would have got fired the next week too. Because that's what you do when you go against somebody like the New England Patriots.
D, I sometimes you just warm my heart.
I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna
be honest. I'm gonna say this real quick. Houston Texans.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah. Jay, what's your take on this, bro? The Chargers fired offensive coordinator Greg Roman. How you feeling about this, bro?
I mean, I can't argue with it, you know, because he made decisions about who he wanted, you know, to play positions, right? So he had to say so in that. And when it doesn't work out, you say, these are the guys I want, doesn't work out. Hey, you live with it. But what I'm tripping on is like, how are you going to fire the offensive line coach? You know what I'm saying? How are you going to fire this dude because he couldn't make shit out of, shine all out of shit? Listen, he lost 2 all-pro tackles to start the season. He lost Rashawn Slater, who they just paid, and he lost Joe Alt, a former all-pro. You lose both your bookend tackles, and it ain't going to get this, and they still won 11 games. So I don't know what you really want in this world now, man, because all pros don't fall off the tree, right? All pro means that you are the best at your position regardless of conference. And to lose 2 of those dudes, and you fire the dude who coached them, I don't know, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, it definitely is, 100%. Now it's time to move on to a topic I wanted to talk about yesterday. I didn't have time. Howie Bell, you happened to make it this show, so here it is. We got to talk about Jaylen Brown ended up cussing out the NBA and NBA officials, and he just didn't care after the loss to the San Antonio Spurs over the weekend. And basically, the problem was he didn't get one foul call the entire game, not one. If you know his game and you know how he plays, he attacks the basket. And he attacked the basket 90% of the time that he had the ball in his hand because he was playing, you know, a team that he felt he could be aggressive with. The Celtics only got 2 foul calls the entire night. They shot 4 free throws. Jaylen Brown goes off. He gets fined $35,000 for that. Like literally $35,000. So Howie Bell, how are you feeling about Jaylen Brown getting fined $35,000 for speaking out against the NBA officials, and the way that the NBA is being inconsistent with the calls? What's your take, Howie?
You know what? This is my first time hearing about this, but the way it sounds, he probably felt good, and that probably was worth that $35,000 to him.
That's exactly what he said. He put it up on social media. He said,
okay. See what I'm saying? I'm right there, right?
Find me, and he went on a rant. He was going off because he was like, and he had reason to be upset. How he was really upset because I watched the game. He got hacked at least 70% of the time. He got hacked every time and didn't get one foul call. You know, and
were they purposely doing this? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, these that's what I don't like, the way sports and the referees are starting to dictate these games, man, and the tempo, the outcome, and all this kind of stuff, man. I don't like it, and the gambling stuff too. So I just don't like what's going on, man. It's a lot of dishonesty going on in sports, you know, and you can't keep it like that, man. It takes away the integrity. People watch sports because they think it's the only kind of one of the true honest things they can look at and you know, get an honest outcome. You know what I'm saying? So people watch sports for a certain reason, man, for that reason, you know, one of them. And I don't like that, man. I don't like the way so I don't really know all the details about why he cussed them out, but it just sounds like they needed to be cussed out. You know what I'm saying, by him. And it was probably worth every penny. And they probably deserved it.
To him, it was worth it. And honestly, not just as a fan of the NBA, he was right. If it could have been the New York Knicks, it could have been anybody. He was right. It's the style of your game, Mo, dictates you to get hacked, and if you're going to get hacked, he plays to get to the line. That's the way he plays. Mo, as a regular fan of the NBA, I know you heard about this, Mo. Jaylen Brown got fined $35,000. He spoke up against the NBA officials, and he didn't get one foul called on him against the Spurs. What's your take on this, Mo?
I mean, the NBA been screwing up with the referees since I've been watching the NBA. And the NBA has been protecting their referees since I've been watching the NBA. You speak up against one of them, they're going to find your ass. You know what I'm saying? You can't talk about Dean, Big Brother Almighty, and not expect to get hit, get paddled, man. I mean, and you know what? And they all tell the truth. Jelly, I mean, he's just the most recent. It don't happen a lot, but it happens. And I'm telling you, they telling the truth. It's true. It's more of a reason to say it than not. But you cannot talk about Dean, Big Brother Almighty, and not get hit.
All right, let me see what D. Jones is thinking about this. D. Jones, what's your thoughts on this? You heard it. You heard the story.
I got a couple points. Point one, the refereeing in the NBA is terrible. They don't call traveling, and they call fouls that ain't there. Like, it's the worst I ever seen. Two, I'm tired of these superstars crying for fouls when they don't get fouled. All of them come down, well, you call it. You ain't get fouled. You know what I'm saying? I watch this happen to Cade Cunningham every night. He don't get to the line at all. And third point, and with all due respect to you and White Chocolate, and I think I can speak for Jay, Mo, and Howie. We don't give a piss about the Celtics at all. At all. Okay? Jaylen Brown, and I watched Jaylen Brown goes to the rack strong, then he stops and pops. I don't never see him get no contact. He don't never go in there like that. But you watch more than I do. But I don't give a piss about Jaylen or his hairline.
D, you warm my, like I said earlier in the show, you warm my heart, D. You warm my heart. Jay, you know what's going on. You see, you know about basketball. You see what's going on here, man. Talk to me, tell me what you think about this Jaylen Brown situation. Take your fandom or lack of fandom for the Celtics out of it to talk about what we looking at here. What's your take?
First off, there is no fandom, so you need to take away my hatred.
Yes.
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 So I'm gonna take my hatred and put it over here, and I'm gonna be straight up. So if Jaylen is confused about not getting calls after you blasted the very people to the point that you had to pay $40,000 in fines and wonder why you don't get calls the next day, that's like the husband coming home and the wife spent all day cooking birthday dinner for him and he just throws it in the trash. Talk about this is some bullshit and wonder why he ain't getting no birthday nookie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the equivalent, because you cannot bite the hand that feeds you. You can't do it. You can't insult them and then expect them, to like even care about anything about you, at least in the short term. So to me, that had to be expected.
Okay. And one thing I will say on that, piggyback on that, sometimes he thinks he's Michael Jordan, and you ain't Jordan, bro. You ain't getting the calls. White Chocolate, what's your take on Jaylen Brown getting fined $35,000 after his rant about the San Antonio Spurs the other night?
Good. I'm glad he did it. F these refs. I'm sick of the corruption. I'm sick of and I watch a few games here and there, and it's you guys are right. Sometimes the guy goes to the basket, the guy breathes on him, it's not an actual foul. They call it, then they go to the stupid replay. We have to sit here for 20 minutes while they try to figure out whether the guy actually got nicked or not, or a fake hand. Like, the referees are awful. They're inconsistent. And he actually called the ref out and said, Curtis and all them dudes was terrible. I don't care. Because we've been talking about accountability with the refs, all of us, right? There's no accountability. They go to this stupid pool report, and it's just they jot down a bunch of stuff. They don't have to answer any questions. They're not accountable to anybody. So, good. Take the fine. I would, too. I don't blame them. And, I do agree that sometimes, Jason Tatum drives me crazy, as good as he is. And sit here and have him behind the play yelling at the ref like, dude, get back in the play. I get that too. But I'm glad he did it. And there's no way you can tell me one team had 20-something fouls and the other team had 4. that's wrong, and I think that
And that's
sports
what
books is
happened.
part of it,
Yeah.
and I think that the refs themselves are part of it. So they're making too much of an impact in all the sports. Good, take
All
the
right,
fine.
so-
I would too.
And they were smudging his hair and everything. Man, Real said I ain't see it.
Howie Bell, this brings me up to my last question, the last topic. We got 5 minutes. Let me see if we can go through this, man. Would trading John Morant help the Bucks keep Giannis if the Bucks trade for John Morant? What you think, Howie Bell?
Oh wow. It maybe may give Giannis some kind of incentive. You know what I'm saying? Have another player, superstar-ish type guy. You know what I'm saying? That can generate some real heat for him. So it may keep Giannis interested in staying. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not sure. John Morant could run away anybody. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just not sure, man, if people really want to team up with this guy like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But to be honest, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of, when you got that dark cloud over your head, man, you know what I'm saying? It's always raining, over you. People don't want to be around that a lot. But Giannis is a different kind of guy. I like Giannis, though. He may be able to help Ja. You know what I'm saying? It may be able to turn him into a better player and a better person. So we'll
Mo,
see.
you got the floor. What's your take?
Yeah. I don't know if he can keep Giannis there, but I don't even know if Milwaukee can afford John Morant. They can put all the chips in the middle to get what's his name from Portland.
Mm-hmm.
What they gonna be able to spend on John Morant? They not gonna, because they looking for youth and picks. I don't know what they got for picks, but they ain't got a whole lot of youth on that team.
Okay, so you don't think John Morant keeping?
Nope, I don't think so. I don't think they can get John Morant.
Okay. Mathematically, they can make it work out because I saw an article on that, but we'll talk about that tomorrow's show. D. Jones, were you thinking about trading John Morant to help the Bucks keep Giannis if they make that trade for John Morant?
I think John Morant would get slapped by the Greek Freak. I think he would make him so mad that he would slap him. I don't think that's a good fit. I really don't know where besides him and Anthony Edwards would be a good fit. I would put him with another young guy and just go out there and have fun, man, and target practice and strip clubs.
There you go with that. Okay.
Not in Milwaukee.
Yeah, Milwaukee ain't got that, but okay.
I don't want to see them cottage cheesecakes. I don't want to see that.
So what do you think about that John Morant move, Jay? What you think?
I don't think he's Giannis, man. I think Giannis, like Mike Tomlin in Pittsburgh, has run its course.
Mm-hmm.
He's been the consummate team guy, but he realizes that there are greener pastures. And if he wants more than he's already delivered a championship to him. He's done his part.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I think now it's time for him to be less team oriented and be more selfish about what he wants for himself and what he wants for his family, and just go live in a place, where you can actually do some stuff in the city besides eat milkshakes and cheese and grilled cheese. You know what I mean? So I would love to see him go someplace, where they're really, really about winning. Like absolutely eat, drink, everything winning. Because I don't think Milwaukee's about that.
Steve, you got 60 seconds.
All right, so I just kind of did a quick peek. Mo was wondering what kind of draft picks Milwaukee has. It looks like somewhere along the line they made trades, and their more favorable picks are going to go this year, first round to Atlanta, and next year to New Orleans. So their picks are going to be probably lower. As far as him landing with the Bucks, the money all has to work out, and there might be a lack of superstar power in Milwaukee. So if they can find a way to make it work, I'm sure they will. And they probably have to get Giannis's input.
All right. Okay. So that you got the last word on that. That's the show. Tomorrow's show, we're gonna talk about the Hornets and literally the Hornets in the NBA news right now, because there's speculation that LaMelo Ball is on the trading block, and of course we're gonna talk about Anthony Davis, and then we got to talk about some college football tomorrow, guys. We're gonna have to do that because Indiana is coming up to play or Miami. You know what I mean? After that beat down in Oregon, we got to talk about that tomorrow. And then of course we got to talk about more of the NFL playoffs, because now the matchups are made. They all set now. Howie Bell, tell everybody out there how they can follow you, bro.
Hey, Howie Bezell, HOWIEBIZZELL. Just type in Howie Bell, baby. You got it.
Yeah, and Howie Bell's name is going to splash all over the place now because he got 3 nominations for the Image Awards out there. Howie
Well,
Bell,
I didn't personally get 3 nominations, but the
you
movie
did,
Unexpected
you did,
Christmas.
because you was in the film. You did.
You a part of that.
You did.
We gonna claim that anyway. Let's
Yeah,
go.
we claiming that. That's how I put it out there, Howie. That's how you doing it. You doing it like that.
No, put it in the banner every day. 3-time NAACP Image Award nominee.
Yeah,
Howie Bell.
for the film. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Bo, tell everybody how they can follow you, bro.
MOE_comic and Howie. Whether you got nominated or not, you are an NAACP Image Award participant.
There you go. That's how we make it clear. That's how
I take that. I take that.
I just want to see how he get the acceptance speech. My good brothers, I just want to see how he do this. That's all I want.
Hold on. Let me say one thing before you put the music on. Say
it. Jay, tell everybody how they can follow you.
Follow me at JD Hayes. But that's why it's on my mind. I would be remiss if I didn't mention the savagery of Kevin Durant in social media because we're talking about John Morant and whatever. Anthony Edwards posted a photo of him and John Morant saying, "Tell me who can stop this." And Durant tweeted, "BBLs and guns."
I saw it. I was the most funniest, man. That was hysterical.
That was hilarious.
Savage. Follow me at JD Hayes and fan base, baby. I'm out here, baby.
Hilarious. It was hilarious. I dropped my phone. I laughed so hard. He needs to get in comedy. That boy needs to do.
He really does.
Because he's off the top funnier than the average person. He really does. Steve, tell everybody how they can follow you.
Howie Bell, congratulations. Good for you.
Thank you, sir.
And you can follow me and Frank on Facebook and YouTube on Boston Straight Shooters.
Guys, thank you all for watching. Tomorrow's show is going to be interesting because some of these guys are going to be landing in some of these spots in this coaching carousels. You know how we're going to do it. Anyway, thank y'all for watching. We'll see you tomorrow, 5 o'clock. Peace.
Hey, what you need, yeah? Man, I got it, wow. What you say, hey? We about it,
Thanks, guys. I appreciate you.